Hello everybody and welcome to my first redstone tutorial. Here I'll show you the ins and outs of redstone, what you can do with it, and later on I'll show you some contraptions you can make with them. So let's get started with the first one. To start with, you're just gonna need some redstone, torches, repeaters, and some kind of switch. And just to make it a little more interesting, I'll add a lamp. And why not just go ahead and grab a bunch of stuff. Alright, so this is redstone dust. It connects one thing to another thing. See, this is a lamp unlit, and based from this torch, which is giving off a redstone output, to the redstone which is right next to it. As you can see, if I take that away, it stops it. But it connects it to this block, which turns it on. It's called a redstone lamp, and it's really cool, especially if you figure out how to light them up at night. Pretty awesome. Now, as you can see here, this redstone signal powers this block, which in turn powers anything beside it. So you can actually light a bunch more of them as long as they're directly adjacent to it. But since this one is the one that's powered by this redstone, this one isn't the powered block, it's just being powered by this one. That's why this one doesn't power this one over here. And this one isn't powered, this one, etc. Only the ones that are directly connected to the redstone power other blocks nearby. Okay, on to the next lesson. A block of redstone powers anything around it, and redstone torches are naturally on. The redstone block actually powers everything, so it turns anything that is normally powered off, anything that isn't powered on. So all these torches turn off whenever they're on the block. However, if you put it next to it, it doesn't do anything because they're not actually connected. They're not affecting each other like the redstone would. But if I did something like this, it would unpower the block, because this block is powering this redstone, which powers this stone block, which depowers this torch because it's normally lit. And something else that you can learn about torches is that a lit torch affects anything above it as well as beside it, just like the redstone block. That's why you can put redstone like that. But like I said, it powers things above it, so this redstone torch is powering this stone block, which will depower a torch I put on top of it, because this is powering this, which deactivates this. It's inversing the signal. So you can keep that chain going and keep inversing the signals back and forth, back and forth. There will be on, off, and that's just how it works. It inverses the signal until there's nothing left. Now, redstone dust, has a limit to how far it will travel. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so, starting over here, this redstone torch is powering the redstone, and here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 blocks that will power anything that it is connected to. But here, since they're all in a straight line, they won't affect the redstone lamps here. If I were to put redstone on top of it, it would light it, because that's another way you can power these lamps. But I didn't do that just to show you that it doesn't connect to them. Anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Showing again, there's 15 pieces of redstone that get powered every time they're powered. And then after that, they just deactivate. Like this here, you can't see the sparkle effect. It's just out. It won't power anything at all. But that's why they have things called repeaters. Repeaters can be placed two different ways. You see these little prongs here? Whichever way they're facing is the output. So I could have a torch here with redstone here, and then it would power this because this is the input, and then over here is the output. So redstone signal goes in, redstone signal goes out, and then it can power something, like this lamp. However, if I swap these around and put the torch over here and the block over here, it would not power it because this is the output, not the input. So the way around. So it doesn't actually go through. So it's only a one-way circuit. But the good thing about the redstone repeaters is that if you put it connected to a redstone signal like this, and I just took off one of the D-powered ones, so you can put it right up to one that it's about to die on, and then place it there, and it'll repower it as if this was another redstone torch. So then it'll go another 15 blocks out. Until here again. So even though this is the last one before it deactivates, it'll still power anything that it's connected to, as you can see here. But one block further, and it wouldn't, because this is the deactivated one that won't power anything next to it. So another good source, or another good thing that you can do with redstone repeaters is power blocks that are nearby other blocks without actually having the redstone wind and turn around, because redstone likes to connect to itself. As you can see here, it'll do corners like that, and it'll do loops like this, and even form grids if you have enough of it. So it always wants to connect to other pieces of redstone. So if I had a bunch of lamps, which I happen to have right about here, and let's say I have a power source like this torch here. So if I have redstone going to power these blocks, I can't power them except for going out like this. If I were to have them all in line like that, it would deactivate them because they don't want to connect to anything except for itself. So what you can do, if you need to put redstone next to each other but still want to power something, is you can use these repeaters, and every one of them standing right next to each other will still power blocks, which is convenient. So that's something you need to know. Like I showed you earlier, redstone torches can produce power that can activate blocks, and that means that anything connected, anything like on the block or connected to the block, like this torch or this torch or this torch, etc., will be powered by it. Even stuff like redstone lamps will power, because this redstone torch powers this redstone, which powers this stone block, which sends power to anything connected to it. Redstone is the exception to that rule because it doesn't want to connect to blocks, it wants to connect to other redstone, or a redstone torch. So this redstone torch powering the redstone powers this block, which turns off this torch, so it's not lighting this. But if I were to remove this power, then this torch would light it again. So redstone wants to connect to torches, but not blocks. That's something you need to know. Okay, next thing. So, if we have a redstone current right here, and actually I'm going to give you a new example of redstone current. This does the same thing as a torch does. It acts as a power source. It's just a lever. You can turn it on or off, unlike a torch. There you have to break it to turn it off. But it's turning nighttime. Let me change it today real quick. Okay, good morning everybody. Now, we're back. So this is another power source, this lever, and if this is on powering the circuit, just like that was over there, it will go on top of blocks. As you can see here, the redstone just goes up there. Okay, so as you can see here, the redstone that is connected to this lever here will go on top of blocks, and it will do it from any angle too, as long as it has access to it. So it'll just go straight to the top until it runs out of redstone signal, which is 15 blocks. It'll even work upwards like that. But as you can tell here, if I wanted to connect redstone this way, it wouldn't work because it is blocked by this block here. See, these here connect and go up into this block up here. But there's actually, instead of just going onto the side of this block, it's actually in this new space here, this 1x1 area. So if I were to put something on top of here, it would block the current here because this can't connect to this because it goes in between here. So this space, you can see the little outline there, goes over into this space where this block is, and then down. It doesn't just go straight into that diagonally. So that's why that works and this one doesn't. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, send me a like. If you really liked it, favorite it so you can watch it with your friends and watch it later so you can master all the skills I'm teaching you in these videos. If you want to see more Redstone tutorials, then subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.